All right, it's Bill. Here's my game one reaction. I'm sure everyone that watched my first video will understand that I'm not shocked at what I saw. There's going to be a lot of talking points in this game. There's going to be a lot of blame. There's going to be a lot of, and rightfully so, maybe people should look into Wes McCauley's brother-in-law being David Frost and that relationship with Sheldon Keefe. That might need to get looked into, because let's be honest, Wes McCauley was an absolute disgrace tonight. An absolute and utter disgrace. But that's not the reason why the Leafs lost. So if you're going to come in here and get into, oh, Bill's going to bitch about the refs, I will a little bit, because in all fairness, I'm still waiting for that fifth goal to go in, and we'll talk about that play. But the Leafs in the first period were one word: soft. An absolute embarrassment, actually, to be frank. The same thing that happens every single year. Top players didn't show up for the first period, other than Matthews. Matthews was decent in the first period. A lot of back checking. Marner, Nylander, nowhere to be found. Tavares, O'Reilly, give me a friggin' break. Take a look at that second goal and tell me what you think of Tavares. Please. Noel Acciari. The big bad Noel Acciari. Take a look at the third goal. It's a friggin' embarrassment. One hand on the stick. All he had to do was put two hands on the stick and try. And the third goal don't go in. This is what we get grinders for? To play like garbage. Let's start at the beginning of the game. You don't start Matthews because you want a line match? What? Okay. How'd that go? You ice the puck. They change their line, and we decide we're going to throw on the Kampf, Aston Reese, Lafferty line. And how did that work out? Well, Zach Aston Reese, a meaningless nobody, hands over the puck, and Justin Hall and Mark Giordano had been on the ice for about 55 seconds. You want to start off the game. You don't want to put Brody and McCabe on the ice. You certainly want Hall and Giordano to try to get it done. And you keep playing them because you're trying to line match. Brilliant. And softer than molasses, both Giordano and Hall should be ashamed of themselves, along with that friggin' fourth line meaningless bullcrap. And Bellemare taps it in. Tap, 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 eh. You know how good the fourth line was? Check out Corey Perry's stats tonight. I think he played probably 15 minutes and dominated the game. Corey Perry dominated it. It wasn't Kucherov. It wasn't Stamkos. It wasn't Point. It was Corey Perry. Drew 2 penalties. Scored a goal. Well, maybe he scored a goal. Couple assists. Not a bad night. Corey Perry dominated the Leafs. Just like he did last year. What's changed? What has changed? Nothing. This team is still soft. Just like their GM, soft. Everything about them in that first period, soft. So you get to the second period. You start off the first 2 minutes. Let's put Hall and Giordano in the softy soft. Just soft. And they get a power play off of, I don't know what the Bunting Cernak thing is, but we'll get into that in just a sec. But to me, the Bunting drew a penalty, okay. Fair enough. I thought it was a bad call. Anyways, Leafs score in the power play. 3-1. O'Reilly from Tavares. See, Tavares, he's Tim Kerr. Give him power play time. He's awesome. How was he on 5-on-5 tonight? Oh, dominant. Him and O'Reilly just flying around the ice, causing mayhem. Poor Nylander. Okay, it's 3-1. Then they get another penalty. Okay. 3-2. The Leafs are starting to play well. Now, I won't say the Leafs are starting to play. Their first line is starting to fire it up. There's a couple good shifts back. Even Achari threw a hit. I nearly had to shake my head because that's the first time I've seen him throw a hit. In Lafferty was throwing a hit, and there was a couple good shifts, and everything seems to be going okay. And then Jake McCabe absolutely lays out E.C. Mont. Great hit. And the Tampa Bay Lightning players chase McCabe around. Now, typically when this happens, when you've got Nick Paul chasing him around the ice, a whistle might be blown. Sometimes a whistle's blown. Sometimes it's blown. No. Just don't blow the whistle. And then you call. Now, keep in mind, I think this happened before. They called Luke Schenn for cross-checking. If you watch that play, the last thing that could be called is cross-checking. For a cross-check, you need to grab your hands on your stick and cross. You take both hands. I don't know if anyone's seen the call. You take both hands on the stick and you hit the other person in the back. That's a cross-check. Taking your hand and pushing them in the back is not a cross-check. And it was a dive. And who was there? David Frost's brother-in-law, Wes McCauley, with the call. At least kill that off. And then you put up with David Kampf slash on Corey Perry. Now, let me get this right. Michael Bunting's got a bad reputation. Could someone tell me what Corey Perry's reputation is around the league? If anyone would like to let me know what he's been doing for the last 20 years? I would suggest he has a diver slash cheap shot reputation. Very similar to Bunting. However, David Kampf lightly taps, if he tapped his stick, I'm not even sure, lightly taps his stick, and there's David Frost's brother-in-law. Read about David Frost if you don't know who David Frost is. His brother-in-law, who, by the way, Sheldon Keefe testified in a trial against Wes Cully's brother-in-law, and the NHL puts this ref out for them. After Game 7 of last year on the pick call on Justin Hall, same ref. Does the NHL not understand how that looks? Optics? Nothing? Is it like Justin Trudeau and his government when he keeps hiring Trudeau Foundation people? The optics of that? When you go on vacation with like a billionaire? Like the optics of that? The optics don't look good. That's where the game actually turned. Now, I'm not going to blame Wes McCauley for the loss. I'm going to blame Wes McCauley for being a horrible referee. And as you just saw, my point, I thought the call on Bunting wasn't a good call. The Cernak call on Bunting, I didn't like that call. If I were a Tampa Bay fan, I'd be upset. But that slashing and cross-checking call, both called by David Frost's brother-in-law, turned this game around. The next thing you know, TJ Brodie makes a horrible decision. Now, how many goals was Justin Hall on for tonight? We'll get into that in a second. Wow. Justin Hall is soft. He's a 6'8" softie, or 6'4" softie. You can't get any softer than him. How the hell is he in the lineup over Liljegren? Justin Hall was awful tonight. Actually, I'm sorry. The entire Leafs defense was atrocious tonight. But Brodie, who I usually love Brodie, made the horrible play. Horrible play. He went into the corner and he couldn't. Braden Point's going to outskate him to the net. And you tuck it in, it's 4-2. Okay. Me in my head going, okay, you were down 3 goals. You made it 3-2. You had the momentum. Okay, the refs are going to owe us a couple penalties after those blatant chintzy calls by David Frost, his brother-in-law. It's 4-2. The game ain't over. And then Bunting. Michael Bunting decides to throw a cheap shot. I'm going to share something with you, Michael Bunting. You are not good enough to throw a cheap shot like that. And the game was over. That cheap shot was like Kyle Clifford last year. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. Cernak, you know Cernak's not going to be out of the friggin'... He's going to miss this game. The Tampa Bay Lightning are going to stoke it like it's some huge injury. Really, if I were the Tampa Bay Lightning, I'd say he's fine just to leave Bunting in the series, because I can tell you if I were the coach of the Leafs, that would be Bunting's last game. That's it. 4-2 game and you do that. And don't tell me he didn't know what he was doing. If you didn't know what you were doing, you would have made incidental contact, sort of like Cernak did to him. You wouldn't raise your elbow and put it in his chin. Now, granted, here's my call. The ref that was sitting beside the play didn't make a call, which is crazy. It's a penalty. Don't get me wrong. But somehow, David Frost's brother-in-law at the red line, he caught that one. Now, granted, that was a penalty. But it's interesting that the ref that's right beside the play didn't make the call, but David Frost's brother-in-law was making sure he caught that one. At the end of the day, it was a 5-minute penalty. Now I'm going to get a little bit more livid here. The Corey Perry goal. I've seen replays. The puck didn't go in the net. There's no way there's conclusive evidence of that puck going in the net. And here's where the NHL looks awful. Because David Frost's brother-in-law, when the goal was scored, Tampa Bay cheered. Watch Wesley McCauley go to the net. He points to the far corner where the puck, he thought it went in the net. Watch him. I'm not making this up. He goes to the net and is pointing at the far corner. And then as he gets to the corner, he turns his arm like this. Oh, there it is. So there's no way he saw the puck go in the net. Take a look at the angle of where Wes McCauley is when he's going to the net and how many people he's looking through. And you're telling me, after seeing the replay, that Wes McCauley for sure knew that puck went in the net. For sure knew it went in the net. For sure. Not a chance. So they're replaying it. Now, me being at home, maybe the puck went in. I don't know. I see the replay. Puck's not over the line. There's no way there's conclusive evidence. I'm still waiting for Des Bryant's ball to hit the friggin' ground too, but there's no conclusive evidence. They go to the situation room. There's no way the situation room said, yeah, that's definitely a goal. My guess is it's inconclusive. So David Frost's brother-in-law, are you sure it went in the net? You make the call. And of course, David Frost's brother-in-law, that's a goal. And we're going to challenge it? 5-on-3, and there's another goal. How in the hell can you have, with the relationship that Wes McCauley would have with Sheldon Keefe, allow Wes McCauley to ref any Sheldon Keefe game? You have enough NHL teams in the league. Why would you put that on you? Because I guarantee this is enough of David Frost's brother-in-law. He's a joke. There's no way on that fifth goal that he saw that go in the net. And if you think he did, watch him. He's in the far corner. Perry cheers. He points at the far side of the net as he's going to the net and then goes inside. Don't you go to the net and see the puck first? Unbelievable. It's 6-2. They throw Wall in. Now, Samsonov was atrocious tonight. Everyone in the Leafs sucked tonight. I'll be honest. So it's not Wes McCauley gave them the game. The game momentum absolutely changed after the camp slashing call. And again, how do you call Schenn for... Like, who in the referee room goes, nice call, Wes. Cross-check with a hand. It's blatant. It's blatant. And you have that relationship. NHL, you're growing like the NFL every day. It's a shame. An absolute garbage shame that you would put... If the NHL... Why would you put yourself in that situation where you could have this happen? Moses Malone. I don't get it. So, 6-2. I'm sitting there going, should I go to bed? Obviously, I didn't go to bed. I'm going to watch the Leafs maybe take an inch. if the Boston Bruins were down 6-2 or the Tampa Bay Lightning were down 6-2, I'm sure they would just play a game of shinny in the third. The Leafs came out and played a game of shinny. Wow, Tampa Bay's got to be threatened by that. How do you come out 6-2 with what's happened to you and play a game of shinny in the third period? Why are you not dumping it in every corner and running every goddamn person? You know why? Because the Leafs are soft. Soft. Just like a Downy sheet. Soft. And this is the reason why nothing's changed. Oh, wow. Yarncroc got a goal. Woo. Matthews had 2 points. Woo. Who cares? Soft. You came out soft. You allowed the Tampa Bay Lightning to take it to you. And you allowed David Frost's brother-in-law to get involved in this game because of the start that you had. Unbelievable. Like just when you haven't found a new low, the Leafs somehow find a new low. Now, here's another thing, too. Tampa Bay was one of the highest penalized teams in the league, and Toronto was one of the lowest. And take a look at the penalties tonight. You're telling me that a team like the Leafs goes out and takes, 8 penalties? Okay, 7 with the delay game call. Or, sorry, the challenge call. What am I missing here? The Leafs take a look at all those penalty calls. I'm still waiting for the stick to hit Corey Perry in the face on the high stick on McCabe. And who's known for being more diver? Who's had a bigger career of diving and embellishing? Corey Perry or Michael Bunting? But Corey Perry gets the calls? Okay, maybe I'm missing something. Other than, of course, David Frost's brother-in-law. Samsonov was awful. Hall was awful. Morgan Riley was an absolute unmitigated disaster out there. That is a disgraceful performance on defense. Giordano showed his age. Brody that's got to be one of the worst games I've seen Brody play, especially on that 4th goal. And McCabe was, I guess he was all right. 4th line was really bad. 3rd line was really, 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 really bad. Someone could let me know where Kerfoot was or Achari. That'd be nice. 2nd line, give me a break. Single-handedly destroyed Nylander. 1st line played okay. Goalie played like shit. That's your game. No, they're probably going to go out and win game 2, right? Who cares? At the end of the day, that is a soft effort. If you're a Leaf fan, how do you justify, or how? What do you say? What do you rally around? I'm assuming Bunting's going to get a couple games for that hit, probably deserved. Are you going to put in Wayne Simmons? No. So it's going to be Matthew Knies, poor guy. And I'm assuming anyone with a brain that watched Justin Hall play hockey tonight would probably put in Liljegren instead of him. I do not think Hall will get the start. I think it'll be Samsonov. Let's see what happens game 2. The good news, maybe one of the things I can try to get positive about is if they get taken out in 4, it's a lot easier to deal with than taken out in 7, I guess. I don't know. All right. By the way, this jersey was really good this year. It won't be worn for game 2. Cheers.